Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for June 19th, 2022. So, this week, all of a sudden, I think my allergies are acting up again. My throat is all gunky again, and I'm like, I thought I was over this, but allergies have been really weird. Oregon weather has been bizarre this June. It's so much rain compared to normal. Better than last year where I was completely melting. Like, I get that. It's just, for some reason, it's activating my allergies really bad. And I'm not sure why. Mostly mine is pollen allergies. So I'm not sure why that's so bad right now. Anyway, so this week was, a week. I think my problem this week is with, again, work-wise is fine. Nothing in my personal life is, like that. It's more my reading is kind of weird right now. I'm reading, middle of this week, I knew I was reading too many books. I mean, I already knew that last week. And I knew with my buddy reads, this week was going to be like the high pitch week. And it was, and I disliked it a lot. And I love the buddy reads that I've done. And I like the books mostly. One of them I'll talk about. My problem is that it's just, I don't work well with, reading a certain amount of pages a day. Every time I try, because I know a lot of people do that. That's how they scheduled out so that they're reading multiple books at one time and they can change genres and they like that. I don't really like that. And I think this year has really showed that I really want to go back to my more roots of my reading, which beyond classics, because I do like the occasional classics, and I am just genre fiction, again, mostly urban fantasy has just been missing in my life I read it like over the years, but just not as much as I used to. And I really want to kind of switch back to that because I nearly started another series this week. And I didn't let myself because I've already started so many. So that's a long way to say that my reading is kind of wacky. So I have what here I finished, and then what I'm in the, like the stuff I'm in the middle of, I'm in the middle of 6 books. Is that right? No, 5. I'm in the middle of 5 books that I'm actively reading. And then I have just one library book I'd like to get done this week because it's due next week, but it's small. But I want to try to knock some of these out. And again, one of them for sure will be done this week. So anyway, let's just say that this week felt weird to me, and I was feeling it even at work because my mind was just not in the game. I don't know. It was a weird work week too. I don't know. I was kind of a little bored, I guess, but I was also letting myself read at work, which was a bad idea. Anyway, we're fine. Anyway, so let's talk about the books that I read, the ones that I'm in the middle of, and as I said, what I would like to read in the next week. So I finished, I think this Monday, I think Wiki Beauty by Katie Robert. I can't remember what day I did. I'm pretty sure it was Monday. Monday or Tuesday, one of the two. There's a day I skipped. I didn't read this because I was reading the Buddy Read stuff. So it might have been Tuesday. But anyway, so this is the 3rd book in the Dark Olympus series. This, I was highly anticipated, the next book in the series. This one is a throuple. So we're following Achilles, Patroclus, and Helen, and I really liked the dynamic of the group. I was nothing what I guess I should have expected how Achilles would be, but maybe not. But I loved Patroclus was definitely one of my favorite characters of this series so far. I just love him. Anyway, but this was again a really great addition to the Dark Olympus series. It was not one of my favorite. Like, again, I didn't give it as high a rating as I did the other two, but I also, because there are certain things I didn't like the way it went, but I also like the journey, so I see why it went that way. So anyway, but it wasn't like a 5 or anything, but I really enjoyed it as just a good book to the series. I read it, as I said, within a week of when I got it, so to me that was really good for a pre-order. I don't usually get to my books quite that fast unless it's a Neil Lingy Sing book, but that's different. Everybody else is like, I try to get to my pre-orders quickly, and this year I'm trying to focus on them, and I'm still have 3 that I need to read that I've gotten. Darn it. I'm still working on it. Anyway, but I enjoyed this one. Again, Dark Olympus is a series that has like kind of Greek myth retellings, but it's kind of modernized with kind of a group of people who are powerful in a town called Olympus, which is kind of cut off from most of the world. I mean, they have connections, but they're not everybody is supposed to be able to get in or out. And the 13 are the ones who are in charge of the town, and one of them has passed away. So there is a tournament to who would be the new one of the 13. And Helen decides to put her name into it, as well as people like Achilles and Patroclus and several others, Paris and and others. And then, but she was also put up as the prize. So it's kind of an interesting twist on that. And then again, she gets to know the other two. it was really fun. It was just a fun ride. I mean, that was kind of it. If you like really sexy times and very, I know there's stuff going on, but there's action and there's other stuff, which is what I like. So it was fun. Anyway, and then the one buddy read I was able to start and complete this week was Wildfire by Alona Andrews. I'm reading these, the Hidden Legacy series with Tia and all the books. As I said, we read the whole Kate Daniels series last year, which was a phenomenal experience. So we continued this year, and I'm reading the Hidden Legacy series. So this is book 3 in the series. So it's the first trilogy completion. And this was really good. This is, it was like the best book in the series so far. One of the best books that I've read this year. It was so much fun, and it was so like action packed, and it just kept going and twisting and turning, and I liked the way it went. There's still a lot of stuff in this series that's open because, again, there's a second trilogy that is completing up this August. I think the last book is coming out for that. So we have a novella and 3 more books to read, so we will continue to read on. I just love this. Nevada and Rogan are just a great, I think by this point, I just love them so much, and the things that happens between them, I just love them. And it's a good, as I said, it's an urban fantasy taking place in Houston in an alternate world where magic was discovered in the 1800s, and people were given a serum to become magical. And then there are these houses of magicians or people who have magic. I guess I shouldn't. Anyway, houses that are vying for power kind of right now. There's this whole kind of undercurrent from the first book of these people who are called primes, who are the very high proficient magic users. There's some kind of conspiracy going on. And the first book is having her chase after she's a private investigator, and she is working for one of the houses and is sent kind of as a pawn to go get one of the primes who is out of control. And then she meets Rogan through that. And it's just, I just said, the series has been great. I love these 3 books. This is definitely a series I will come back to. I especially loved this book a lot, and the things that happened in it. So I'm glad that I read this. And again, Tia and I have had fun with that. So we will continue on in July, which I'm excited for. And then I finished my reread of The Witch's Heart by Guinevere Gornichek. I did have the audiobook, and I did listen to the first 60 or so pages, and I just wasn't clicking with it. So I returned it to the library because there was a lot of people waiting for it. So I gave it back, and and on Friday, I just kind of focused on this and finished it out. I still love this book. I still the first time I cried during one scene in here, and this time I didn't cry, but I definitely felt kind of about to cry. So it still got me, even though I knew it was coming, and I knew I wasn't going to be happy about it, and I still wasn't. But it was great to revisit it because even though it's only been about 16 months since I read it, I did forget a few things. I still think I read it a little too soon. I probably should have waited. So this is a Norse mythology of the witch who was one of Loki's wives, and the children that she bore him. And it really is an interesting take. And of course, I love Ingrid Boda, and I like Scaldi and a couple of the other people around it. Loki is definitely Loki in this. I really enjoyed how this went. It never, I mean, it didn't really go, as I said when I first read it, that it wasn't what I expected, even though I knew enough about Norse mythology to know what was coming. I liked the way it went. Anyway, so overall, it was a great book. It was a great reread. As I said, I was just trying to knock off some books that I'd already started in the last few weeks, and I'm just trying to cut down on my currently reading because it's really out of control right now. So I knocked this one off, and it was really good to reread that, even though I don't think I should have waited another year, I think. But, well, now I'll just wait a couple more years before I come back to it again, because I really enjoyed it. Okay, so then let's talk about the books I'm in the middle of. I have my 2 buddy reads. The first one is Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. I'm reading this with Berner's Bookish Adventures and a group on Instagram that she put together for her series of, I think, big books that she's reading this year. This is the one I joined in on because I've been wanting to read Warbreaker for years. And so we are nearly to the end. I read today's pages already yesterday. So I am ready to go for the very last 100 pages. So we are really close to the end. So I will probably start this. I don't think I'll start it today because of another book I'm reading. I probably will start this sometime tomorrow, but I'll probably get done before Thursday, which is our last check-in. So I'm really excited to get this book done. Again, it was like 670 pages. But we're almost done. Anyway, so we've been doing this for over, it's about almost a month and a half. So we're just at the month mark. So maybe it's like 5 weeks, I guess we did this in. So I'm really excited to get done. This, again, was a book that I had no idea what I was getting into. Because I had some odd idea that it was going to be a sci-fi. Again, this is a fantasy where 2 daughters of kind of an exiled king one is sent. One is supposed to go as the bride to the god king who rules the capital, and at the last minute, the father changes his mind and sends the younger daughter who is not prepared. And it's their stories of how they deal with that, and the way that this and the undertones of what is happening in the capital when they get there. And I really have enjoyed this. The characters, I really have liked this. I'm kind of mad at myself that I didn't read this years ago. When I could have, I never got to it. I think it's because I wasn't sure what it was. But I have really enjoyed it. It has a cool magic system with breath and colors or how that's connected to that. And there's a lot of political stuff going on. It's definitely a political fantasy kind of thing. So there's a lot of stuff there. And again, I just really love the sisters and their different journeys, because it's so hard to watch this. So I'm 100 pages from the end, and I'm excited to continue. So as I said, we're supposed to finish this by Thursday, so this will be done this week, and I'm excited to have this one to be done, because again, I've been wanting to read this for years and just never got to it. I'm hoping in the next few months to start reading Mistborn Era 2, because I've never picked that up, even though I love Mistborn. And I know I don't talk about Brandon Sanderson much because I didn't read him while on book 2. I read him before. But I do want to read Era 2 before the last book comes out. Even though I probably won't get the last book for quite a long time, because I have to wait I'll probably be on a hold list at my library forever. Because I might buy an ebook. I'm not sure. I haven't decided. It matters how good those 3 books are that come before the 4th book. We'll see. I might buy the ebook. I don't want a hardback. So anyway, but I'm really excited to get that done this week and see what happens at the end. And then I'm also reading with just Berna. We're reading Valette by Charlotte Bronte. I am a day behind. I didn't pick this up yesterday. I just couldn't. This book, okay, we are like Friday we were exactly halfway through. Yesterday I would have been two chapters past that, but anyway, I had a really weird reading day yesterday, even though I had plenty of time. I didn't pick it up. So today I'll catch up. Valette is Charlotte Bronte's, I think like a lot of people think this is their favorite Bronte or Charlotte Bronte novel, and I don't quite understand yet. So I'm halfway through. It's okay. We're following Lucy Snow, and her life as she, part of her childhood, but not a lot of it. And then, how later she meets some people that she knew, when she, goes to the continent to become a well, she doesn't really know what she's going to become, but she becomes a teacher at some point at a school, and then how what people she meets there. And it's, you know, it's very much of what's going on at that, you know, it's like a very twist, or a lot of people, I don't know how to explain this. I don't know. Let's just say I'm not thoroughly enjoying this. This is actually kind of hard for me to pick up sometimes. Sometimes I try to get ahead, like the night before, to see if I can get extra chapter in, just so I don't have to read so much the next day. I'm not really enjoying this. So we'll see. As I said, I still want to finish it because, again, I only have this and one more Charlotte Bronte novel to read. And then I've read all the Bronte novels and I want to get it done this year. So, Bern and I think we both agree that this is a little longer than it probably should be. We don't know. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen, but it just feels long anyway. And, lucky for me, there are French translations in the back of this book. I was going to get a different copy if I didn't have them, because somebody had told me that at some point, I think when I said I was going to read this. And luckily I do have them. So anyway, so that I'm working on. So then I have 3 books that I'm hoping to pick up this week to finish. I started yesterday, Wraith by Philippa Valentine. So I should not have picked this up. I have so many books in progress, but I put this off a month and I've been trying to get back to this series. This is book 3 of the Book of the Order. I read the first 2 in March and April at the end of the month. And so May it came and went. I just didn't get a chance to do it. So I was like, I have to hit one in June. So I was kind of floundering yesterday and I was just like, okay, I'll just pick this up and start it and see if I want to read that right now. And I got right into it. I am only 110 pages in, and all my characters are in trouble. I feel so bad. Last night I was just hugging this book going, my poor characters. Anyway, so this is a fantasy where there are things called deacons, these people who protect the populace from geists or spirits of some sort that are trying to break in from the other world. And so they use magic and they have certain runes on their equipment that they are able to, to power up and then have them send them back to the other world. And so Sorcia is pretty much the main character. She is an active, and so she is more of an attack deacon, and her partner Merrick is called a sensitive, and he's more defensive kind of thing. So the books things have gone from the very beginning where things were everything goes wrong in these books, I must say. They're only like 310 pages. They're very dense. A lot happens. And as I said, like I'm 100 pages in and all my characters are in danger right now. And it hurts me because they're all by themselves. This is a different one where they're not all together or they're not meeting up and stuff, because Sorcia and Merrick are partners in their deacon order. And then there's also Red, I don't know how to say his name, but he is like what is he? He's the pretender. Or he is of a family that used to be the emperor's, but they were kicked out in his grandfather's time. And so he's called the young pretender because he's the second generation. So not his father, but the grandson of the one who was kicked out. Anyway, and he's got a curse on him. And so it's just, right now, this is just twisting and turning, and it's really good. I mean, these are not books that I would say are, like, I'm going to come back to these and reread these again. These are like a series that there's 4 books. So this is book 3. So I'm getting closer, but I, would like to finish this, and then I don't know if I'll keep them because I like them, but I don't know if I'll come back to it. Although right now, because my character is in so danger, I'm just worried so much that maybe it'll turn out it'll be a series that I keep. I'm not sure. I'm really enjoying this journey. Again, I read the first book years ago, and then I collected all the books, and then I never got back to it. So I'm just trying to finish out this series. This is one of the series this year I wanted to finish. So anyway, I'm in the middle book 3 and really enjoying that. I'm hoping to finish that this month so that next month I can pick up book 4 and be done with that series. So we'll see if I can do that. I did come back to Working for the Devil by Lola St. Croix. This is the first book in the Dante Valentine series. Yes, Cooper. What are you doing? Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, so I had the big bind up that I tried to start reading again, and I just couldn't hold it. Especially with the cats, won't let me lay a book on my lap because that's their spot. So I bought all the the 5-book series in the mass markets that came out a long time ago when somebody was selling them as a set on eBay. So I got them all. So I restarted this because it's been a month and a half since I read the first 100 pages. So I read 60 pages yesterday to restart. I still am about 40 pages from where I was before, and it's a quick read. Urban fantasy. This is like a different world, but it's like our world, but just slightly different. People can have certain jobs. Like she is a neuromance, so she talks to the dead, usually for like corporate things or for people's wills and stuff. But the book starts with a demon showing up on her doorstep telling her that the devil wants her to take on a job for him. And so it's very urban fantasy. But there's a lot, it's an interesting twist on the world, I guess is what I'm saying, is that it's interesting that, demons and the devil, Lucifer exists. And then, again, she's a neuromance. And then there's other people who are just normal. I mean, she just got a pizza delivery for dinner, it's a good urban fantasy so far. So I don't know where Saint City is supposed to be, which is where this takes place. I haven't quite got a sense of place yet, as in if it's supposed to be kind of somewhere in the U.S. I'm guessing it's in the U.S. because she is a Portland author or a Pacific Northwest author. So I'm not sure where it's supposed to be, but I haven't quite decided if it was like a real place or not. So anyway, I'm hoping to get back to this after I finish Wraith. I started rereading this, and I don't know. I read 60 pages and I'm like, okay, let's switch it up. And again, I don't always do that. I'm very rare, but because my reading has been so weird this last month, I wanted to, I don't know. I'll come back to that. So, and then I'm hoping after this week or during this week at work, I will probably take this at some point, or also read this. All right. So this is, I'm hoping to get by the weekend, I guess, I'm trying to think how I'm going to do this. I have so many books in progress, but I want to come back to A Natural History of Dragons, a memoir by Lady Trent, by Marie Brennan. I keep forgetting to say her name because it's not on the front cover. Isn't that weird? Her name is here, this little teeny, but her name is not on the front cover, the author. Anyway, so this is a book I got for my birthday from Tia. So, as I said, I've read it when it first came out back in 2013. So I wanted to reread it and then continue with the series. So I think I'm like 100 pages in, 124 pages in. So I was in the middle of an interesting scene. I just stopped there that day that I read this. I haven't come back to it. And that was week before last. So I'm hoping to get back to this, hopefully after I finish Wraith, and then maybe Working for the Devil, and then come to this. We'll see. Hopefully by maybe next week, and I'll be reading that. It just matters how my reading goes, because I have to finish Warbreaker in there too, and continue to read Valette. And then the only book that I need to get done by next Sunday that is a library book is The Hawk's Way: Encounters with Fierce Beauty by Cy Montgomery. So this is the author who wrote The Soul of the Octopus. I read her Hummingbird book. I got her Hummingbird book in a giveaway on Instagram, the Hummingbird's Gift. And then, so I had read, on Goodreads, sorry. So I did read that. And so this is kind of a companion to it. And I thought I'd read it before. I didn't want to buy it because it's so teeny. Anyway, but so I need to read this before it goes back to the library. It's, it's like only about 100 and, well, I don't even know if it's 100 pages. No, it's like 75 pages. So, and again, I don't know what it has to do with the hawk. I'm sure she's visiting some friend who takes care of hawks, and it's talking about them, which is what the Hummingbird Gift was like. So I really, I just want to read some more nonfiction. It's really weird because I'm starting to buy nonfiction again, but I'm still not reading very much of it. So I need to get it back into my rotation, because I have been reading a lot of genre fiction and a lot of other stuff, and I'm missing my nonfiction. So I'm hoping, I do have to read that. Oh, I just hit myself. And then I'm gonna get, sorry, that was not good. And Cooper's right here staring at me. Sorry about that. Anyway, so I need to read that before next Sunday when it's due. So that's it. That's all my reading. I am still kind of keeping up with this. I had to do the last two, like last week I forgot to do this, so I did it off camera. And yeah, this is looking really weird. Anyway, so I had another reread with The Witch's Heart, and I series. No, the Wildfire is not is a continuation. It is not going to be finished because I still have more books in that series. And then what else did I finish? Oh, and then I also continued in The Dark Olympus. So for these 3 months, still my rereading is insane. It is amazing how much rereading I've done this year. But again, I have to say that I used to reread a lot in years past. And I think this year is like the first year it's kind of a little bit more than normal. But I'm really enjoying it. Anyway, but I don't have any... I mean, the only reread I'm in the middle of right now that I have left is Working for the Devil. And, oh, no, I did have 2. And The Natural History of Dragons. So I do have a couple more rereads that I want to get done this month. Beyond that, I don't think I want to probably wait till next month before I start. As I said, I almost started another series, even though I had all these going because it was completely different, you know, another fantasy, light fantasy. So anyway, it didn't happen. I stopped myself. I need to finish these. So, anyway, what are you guys reading? What are you guys up to? Anything interesting? Do you guys get, I mean, I don't know how people do with all the multiple books. I'm just like, as I said, I've gotten through, one of my better reads is done. The next one will be done this week. And then the other one will be done by the end of the month. So, I mean, as I said, I like it when there's one. So many is a little much for me. And I knew that was going to happen. I just still wanted to read all the books. So anyway, we'll make it through. I'm still reading a lot. I just feel like I don't make much progress. I don't know how people do that. I like finishing the books. Anyway, so, anyway, tell me what's going on with you guys, what you're reading recently, and I will see you guys later. Bye.